Hi guys, it's Amy. Thank you so much for waiting patiently for my next video. Honestly, we had a lot going on personally and not very much going on with surrogacy. However, I do have updates on our journey, but I want to save that for my next video, which will come up next week. I'm happy to get back on track with my weekly videos, and I'm sure you are too. It's exciting stuff happening with the egg donor and dates and things like that for our next steps. I also didn't think it would take this long to get downtown to interview ConceiveAbilities, but they were relocating their office and we were just now able to get down there. It's all about the questions that you guys asked me, and I hope you enjoy it, and here it is. Hi guys, it's Amy, and I finally made it to ConceiveAbilities. I am downtown in Chicago, and I'm here with Kate, who works with ConceiveAbilities. She's going to help us answer all the questions that you guys had asked me on the YouTube channel. The first one is about surrogacy, and it's what would disqualify you from being a surrogate?
So one of the first requirements for surrogates is that she has given birth to and is raising at least one child with a history of uncomplicated pregnancies and deliveries. We also consider applicants based on a really detailed application that they would fill out. There are several questionnaires included there as well that we would take all of those things into consideration. The other thing that's really important is an applicant's location. Certain states don't recognize surrogacy contracts, so a good agency is going to be aware of this, and a great agency is only going to work with applicants who live in surrogacy-friendly states, and that's so that all parties involved can be protected under the law.
Excellent. How many embryos are transferred, and who decides that?
So normally we see that physicians favor transferring 1 to 2 embryos. It's typically individualized for each match, so it depends on the family building goals for the intended parents, as well as what the surrogate is comfortable with. Sure. So a good agency is going to determine those details before a match is even made. And knowing that you've been through this process before, what was that discussion like for you?
Yeah, and during the match meeting, the intended parents and I kind of talked about how many are we willing to transfer and how many am I willing to carry. The first journey I transferred 2 and we had twins, and on this journey we're talking about just transferring 1 at a time because the doctors, myself, and the IPs kind of only want me to carry 1 because I did deliver early, the twins, and so it just kind of happens, a relationship builds, and you kind of just figure out what works best for everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The next one is who picks the lawyers and who writes the contract?
So again, a good agency is going to have the protection of all parties in mind and is also going to advocate for you by connecting you with an attorney who specializes in surrogacy contracts. So it's someone who's very familiar with the process.
Excellent. Yes, I think my contract ended up being like 62 pages long. So it's very, very detailed. It goes over everything, which is good. I feel good that I'm covered no matter what. The intended parents are covered no matter what, and the baby is covered.
Absolutely.
So the next one, who picks the lawyers? Nope, we just did that one. Who pays for the doctor's visits and any other fees that might come about?
The intended parents are responsible for all medical fees and related costs. So because it can be really difficult to manage those details, it's important to work, again, with an agency who will handle all of those financial concerns. An expert agency is going to have those resources available so that you can focus on the pregnancy.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any contact with the family during the process or even afterwards?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. The level of communication can vary from match to match, which you may be finding yourself. Yeah. At our agency, we prioritize the matching process to take your needs into account as well as the needs of the intended parents. That said, there are maybe referred to as silent periods at the beginning of the match where the degree of communication is a bit more limited as legal contracts are being established and some of those details are being worked out. We know that that's really hard because everybody's very excited about getting started.
Anxious to get that communication going, yeah.
Yes, but that process, that goes pretty quickly, and then, from there you're fully in contact as much as you want to be.
So contact for me with my first journey was just how I expected it to be. It had its high moments and its low moments where there was a lot of contact and a little bit of contact, depending on if we were waiting for egg donors or just waiting for someone to get their period, or the high moments when I am pregnant and I'm sending multiple texts about the pregnancy, and the IPs are asking questions and things like that. And this journey has fallen to the same thing where, we're in a waiting period now for the egg donor and things like that. So we don't talk as much, but, if I say something, she obviously texts or calls back and things like that. So it's going great, and it's exactly how I expected it again to be. and there could be, more conversations or less conversations. It just definitely depends on your match and your journey, how that's going. So there. Okay. The next questions I got were about egg donor, and the first question was, what are the requirements?
So at ConceiveAbilities, we will consider donors who are between the ages of 21 and 30, who are non-smokers, and who have just a generally good family medical history, psychological health history. We take that into consideration. It's also really important that donors are responsible and flexible throughout the process. It does require patience, and it requires a solid commitment to the process. A reputable agency is going to have a careful review and intake process so that they can thoroughly screen and educate donors going into the process.
And the next question is there any contact during that process as well?
Very rarely. While donors do provide photos for intended parents to see, if they have registered through our database and have talked with our coordinators to get access to that. Otherwise, it's an unknown match. Donors' intended parents very rarely have contact. At our agency, each donor does have a match manager who's going to help guide her and the intended parents through the process so that they have support to complete the process without having any kind of direct communication.
So the next set of questions are for the intended parents. And the first one is, do the surrogates or egg donors go through medical or psychological testing or any evaluations?
Yes, a reputable agency is going to require medical screening as well as psychological evaluation. So that's all going to be taken care of.
Excellent. Yes, there are several computerized tests, and speaking with counselors and things like that I had to go through a couple of those already. Why use an agency?
Well, as you have experienced, surrogacy and also egg donation are incredibly complicated processes. It's really difficult to navigate them without support. So, a good agency is going to prepare and educate you before you get started, but a great agency is going to assist you and guide you every step along the way.
I love ConceiveAbilities for that. I feel like someone's in my corner, no matter if things are going good or things are going bad. I have someone in my corner for me. And I'm sure the intended parents feel the same way for their corner.
Yes, so good. I'm glad that you've had that experience throughout the process because we've truly enjoyed. I can't stress enough how much we've loved working with you, with your family, and of course your intended parents.
Thanks. All right, guys. So that's all the questions that I received so far. If you have any other ones, you can list them below. It could be for surrogacy, egg donor, or intended parent side of things, or you could contact ConceiveAbilities.
Absolutely. We are here to answer any questions that you might have. We want to make sure that you feel educated and as comfortable as you can about this process. There's a lot to learn. There are a lot of intricacies involved, and that's what we're here to help with however we can.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.